I wanted to take a second to break down all the automations inside of Agency Sync. Whether you're running an info offer or a agency offer, what you need to understand is what drives all these automations that we're going to use is the sales process. So what you're seeing in front of you right now is the sales process, more or less, right? Really, it's the sales process up to booking a call and running a call, right? These are the two things that you're trying to drive any new lead that comes into the system to do, right? Is to book a call and have it run, right? There's a lot of things that can go wrong on this pathway, and that's what the automations help correct. So how does the lead even enter the system, right? Imagine this is our lead here, and there's two ways to enter, right? They can come in through the opt-in and opt-in form, and that's really just basic information, right? We're just gathering, their email, their number, whatever, and that puts them into the new leads sort of classification, and that has an automation associated with it called the new leads automation. And when that automation runs, it's going to try to push them toward a booked call, right? The other option, a schedule page, right? Very similar to other programs. This is a very powerful schedule page because it has the integrations with all the other automations, right? Which is not something you see on a lot of other programs. And this is just the power of being able to have the automations built into the funnel itself. So what's going on here, right, is you would just book a call and boom, you're right into the book call phase, right? So I want to kind of go toward the opt-in, right? Because I feel like the opt-in is probably where most people are going to start. If you're an info offer, probably most people will start the opt-in. Some people will start at this schedule page. But say you're using some sales asset as like a lead magnet, and you're just trying to get as many emails in, this is where a lot of people will start, right? So coming into here, new leads, right? So what happens when you're a new lead? Well, a new lead has a new lead automation associated with it. And when that automation runs, right, just like I said before, we're trying to book a call, right? Trying to get the lead to book a call. However, what if they don't book a call, right? That's another scenario that we're thinking about here. Well, if they don't book a call, they're put into a 2-month-long nurture sequence where we drip them emails with sales assets, with very strong testimonials and case studies, and hopefully we try to convert them over to somebody who's going to run a call or going to have a call run, right? Book a call. So now when they're in the booked call phase, what's going to happen is that there's something called a tie down automation, right? Very similar if you understand sales and you've done sales for a very long time, and especially like door-to-door sales, we're always trying to tie people down through, a bunch of different methods in order to get them to actually commit to going on the call, right? So that's something that runs once you are in this sort of booked call stage, right? Now, once the call is booked, there's a number of things that can happen, right? The prospect can cancel, right? Anytime. Well, guess what? When they cancel, there's a cancel automation that you wouldn't imagine it, but what it does is it pushes the person to book a call again, right? Reschedule. Well, there is also a no-show automation, right? If the prospect doesn't show up, and there's always a number of reasons why a prospect wouldn't show up, there's a very there's a whole automation for that brings them back to the book call stage, right? And also, I also wanted to mention is we have all the reminders, a lot of that kind of stuff already set up. So not even something to worry about, right? So once that happens, the call runs, goes into here, And now you have really completed sort of the first half of the sales process, right? Now, on the sales call itself, on the call itself, you're going to push them toward to be a actual customer of yours, right? So you're trying to push that conversion. Once that happens, once they say, send you the payment, what's going to happen is they're going to be put into a different flow, right? Which is not the sales process anymore, but the customer process and the customer journey. And that's really a linear journey. It's not shown here, but it's a linear journey that kind of breaks down onboarding to all the other tasks that need to happen, right? So I just wanted to quickly show you what that looks like inside Agency Sync. This diagram should really just help you conceptualize what's going on, because it can be hard to understand when you're just seeing like these, call flow, client flow, pre-book call. What does that mean, right? So pre-book call is everything that happens before a book call, right? So that's the new lead automation, right? The minute, a opt-in happens, there's a tag, there's a new opportunity created, and then, there's an internal automation sent to your team. There's the email. The emails don't really matter. The emails change. You want to completely customize this based on your offer, whether it's an agency, whether it's a info offer, because it's super important to make sure that you're nailing it down exactly toward what you do, right? This is not the place for generalization. This is the place for getting very down in the weeds about what you do and making sure you 100% nail your prospect with these emails, right? So there is some filler emails here. I would recommend you go through and change them. However, this structure is very important. This structure is going to be exactly what you need to push your prospect toward a sale, right? So, there's SMS, and then it waits for a reply. If there's a positive reply, then it'll send them the SMS. It'll send them a booking link. And then if they book appointment, then, they get added to or they don't book appointment, they get added to the nurture link. If they do, it's automatically going to trigger the other automation, which I'll show in a moment. Let me just walk through the rest of this. Similarly, if there's no positive reply, then what happens is there's an internal notification, and then we wait another day, and then we check again if they've confirmed an appointment. If not, then they get added to a nurture flow, right? The 2-month nurture flow. If there's same thing here, if there's no reply here, then we can call them. Basically this tells you, hey, you need to call this prospect. You can call the prospect, and then similarly, if they don't respond, there's no scheduled appointment, then you are throwing them in the 2-month nurture sequence, right? So that's that. Here's the 8-week, the 2-month nurture sequence kind of going down. It's just very simple emails. And then you go in and you can change all these. I gave you some sort of breakdown of what you should add in these emails. You want to use sales assets. You want to use very powerful case studies. You want to use videos, documents, anything you have as a way to provide value to the customer and to give, to stoke the interest to have them book a call with you, right? Okay, so this is very simple. It's very linear, and all you're trying to do is to have them book a call. Going back now. So that's the 2 pre-booked call sequences, right? So this is before they even booked a call. This is what you're going to be running. Now, here's the call flows, right? So once they book a call, right? Now you have to tie them down into coming into that call, right? So the way we do that is using a tie down sequence, which, it's really just sending them tie down emails. Hey, we just want you to reply. Just get them customer engaged in some way, right? There's a lot of emails in this automation, and all of these, the goal of all of these emails is getting the customer engaged, getting them, ready for the call, right? So we're sending them pre-sales call assets. Like we want to send them stuff that, from our other clients. We want to send them stuff from, case studies that we had, powerful, successful testimonials, all of that stuff, right? We want to make sure we're sending them that stuff. And then we want to remind them to actually show up on the call, right? So, 1 hour reminders, day before, 24-hour before reminders, 15 minutes before reminders. Hey, there's an SMS, right? Send them an SMS, right? So very simple. Going back now. Now there's two other things, right? The cancel flow and the no-show flow. So let's go into here. So if they cancel call, right, we wait. We send them a quick cancel email. Hey, just realized you canceled the meeting. Same thing, we send them a text, and then, we wait for them to reply. If they don't reply, then we send them another email. If they don't reply, then we send them another email. If they don't reply, then we send them another email. If they see, it's very thorough. And otherwise, they're sort of turned into an unresponsive. We give them an unresponsive tag in the sales process in the pipeline, and that's just what they are. And then we don't worry too much about that. Going back here, and actually, let's go into no show here. Okay, so here is the no show workflow. It's very similar to the other one. You want to change up all these emails, obviously, again, but we throw them in the unresponsive, and then boom, that's done. So just going back here. So if they're unresponsive, they basically get thrown into the nurture sequence again, right? So this is a very useful thing to have, right? Okay. So that is the breakdown of all the automations here. Now there is another set of automations that goes into the client flow, right? What's the client journey? So once the payment's received, then what we do is the client. Now this is something that we can get rid of, but essentially what we do is we create a client. Now this client is now added to another pipeline, which is the client journey. We send them a welcome email. We, push them to jump on an onboarding call. And then, there's all these tasks that need to be done. And based on your agency and what they do, you want to be able to break these down and put them into, the best configuration and best sort of fulfillment schedule for you. However, this is all the, say, fulfillment you can just break down and then have your team be on it, right? So when this, month 2 pops up, well, now there's a month 2 internal notification that says, hey, this needs to be done. Make sure it's done. And then you can assign it to a certain user. So it's really powerful in that way. And that's that. Very simple.